Hello everybody, welcome to the top 5 tips for the month. And let's go over many things. Tip number 1 is do as much incursions as possible. So one thing that I've been trying to do is do all of the incursions, all the sectors, because you can do it, and as well it gives you back a very nice chunk of artifacts. Currently I'm sitting on 278,000 as I'm partway through my sector 5. I've also got to do my sector 6 and I think sector 3, I think, are the only two that I've got to do after this, or maybe this is the final one. In any case, I've been doing a lot of it mainly to get as many incursion artifacts as possible, and of course getting as many as possible of the incursion crystals. The incursion crystals, these ones here, the golden dragon lunar crystals, will give you opportunities for a good amount of ISO, gold, two things that a lot of the player base is without currently. Yeah, you got to work for it, but look, it is what it is with it, and it is free, and also gets your champions out and work, and it gets you an opportunity to experiment and go into the mode. It also gives you a chance to get well, yeah, just get those things and some artifacts, some more incursion artifacts, which could get you closer to something in particular, whether or not it's going to be the 7-star crystal that is located in incursions, or it's going to be some of the various other crystals that they've got on offer for you. Just depends what you're in for and into. For me, it's all about trying to secure that 7-star incursions crystal, but also have a little bit left over just in case I want to then go for the next one. As you can see, the limit is 21 days from now at the point of recording this video. So at least it's a case of, well, if I'm halfway there to the next one and say I've picked up nearly 600,000 incursion artifacts, maybe I will, maybe I won't. At least I'm closer to that next one. So get grinding in incursions. And also check out configurations and an options spreadsheet, which a link to is in the description. I've got to expand to this and do a part 2 based on some feedback from the comments section, so look out for more improvements, more additions in the coming days. Tip number 2 is all about choice and selecting correctly. When it comes to the rifts, the side quest for the month, selecting is going to be very important. Using your decryption keys, which are these ones right here that unlock the various different paths, are going to be important. You will get to select specific types of paths. I'm still working on and developing out a kind of scenarios based choice kind of guide, but obviously that's in its very early stages. But this is so important when you get these particular rare decryption keys, and then they got lots of words in, then choose stuff that you are looking that you're low on. Always make sure to check your shards, always make sure to check your fragments in your inventory to go, okay, how close am I to forming something? If you've gone through the entirety of the month and you're on your last few runs, which will have all your keys there, then you can make that decision to go, I didn't get as many 7-star shards this month. I didn't get as much 6-star shards. I didn't get enough tier 6 basic, tier 3 alpha fragments. Make those decisions. Top yourself up with things that you may have been slightly without. Tip number 3 is all about Winter of Woe. Even though this content has been divisive for the community, it is something you do not have to rush to get done. If you're finding it a bit of a struggle or it's a bit annoying, then do make sure to farm each and every day some revives, whether it's doing the solo event, whether or not it is doing things like apothecary or waiting on your 4-hour free crystals. There is opportunity for you to scoop a good chunk of stuff, as well as farm things like boosts, and of course make sure to have, and here's like, by the way, before we get into kind of like finishing segment off, you can collect maybe about 70 now, but 74-hour crystals, which, you know, you can pop open, make it a revival too, could be helpful. I'm doing apothecary and solo events. It may be a little bit less than this now, could be about I'd say 25, let's say 25 revives that you can get between now and the event going. So do bear in mind, you know, there is still opportunity to give yourself a chance to get some of this done. We're still filling out the options for the content to do. Of course, there are some just very generic options to use. I've seen people use Doctor Doom, Spider-Man and Quicksilver to great success. But of course, for a lot of you that are looking for options to take down Absorbing Man, you may be under the radar of doing some of these particular ones here. Whether or not for Robot, it's your Mega Sentinel, Guillotine 299, Warlock. Whether or not it's She-Hulk, Hulk, or Overseer, whether or not for Sinister 6 it's Sandman and Shocker. You'll probably rank up to make it easier as well, so do look to that. And also, as I said, get those boosts on. Now on to solo events and objectives. These generic ones that are very much around the love theme do have different requirements you have to do, whether or not it's defeating romance or it's complicated type champions, or it's using some of those said champions. So that I would do anything for love. Rewards is very much around these decryption keys, which of course are very easy to smash out. You've probably done that already. Probably looking going, oh, right, I've done nearly 500,000. Some people even more, especially with that glitch in Arena. Obviously, doing some of the Unbreak My Iron Heart is very different because you're kind of approaching that from you have to do rifts in order to get something back from it. That's kind of like how that one particularly works. There is, of course, Winter of Woe, which is we've just covered. But there's also the other one, which is, but I wouldn't do that, which I can't see. Oh yeah, well, I wouldn't do that. This one here. Very, very easy to do. The same way with some other pieces of content as well, where you can take certain champions from the objectives and use them in a particular quest. My favorite quest to go into in order to get romance or take some of the champions in the objectives like Human Torch and Odin is to go into Road to Labyrinth. You don't have to go this way, you can go into different quests, but go into Road to Labyrinth, which is there, and go into quest 1.2, which is there, the round 2. In this one, you'll find several romance champions. You can see them already on screen right now, where we've got Hawkeye, we've got Wolverine, we've got Hulk, and we've also got Star-Lord and a Thor. So that is 5 champions right there that are within that boundary. A full list and information can be found in the spreadsheet, which, as I've said, is kind of listed here. You can opt for going into Arena with some of the various champions mentioned and seen on screen right now under Air Nomads, Fire Nation, Water Tribe, and Earth Kingdom. Of course, Aang and the people behind Avatar are probably going to be a little bit kind of like, yes. And we move on to our final tip. I probably will be repeating myself in another video, but I want to make that one very much kind of around the subject of the Lunar New Year event. But if you're going to watch this earlier in the day, depending on when the content comes out, then you'll have early kind of look on what I'm covering with this one. So we've got a Lunar New Year solo event, the Golden Dragon event. We also have a calendar, which I'll do a reaction to at some stage. And also we've got a Lunar New Year quest. My forewarning to everybody is do watch out. It does come with a bit of an energy cost with it. Whether or not Command will make it a 0 energy, I don't know. It's too early to kind of to find out. But yeah, in previous years it looked like this on screen, where we've got like red and gold, and like it's one energy per tile. I think I remember auto fighting for a good chunk of this, but it did cost me energy, of course, as most things do in game. But that's not only the only thing. There are some other events kind of like listed off in association with this, apart from the quest, which of course gives some good stuff. It gives units, and you can look to reinvest in. Depends if you want to use free energy with it. Maybe have a bit of caution that if you've got some free energy refills, which I've got in kind of supply, that's what I'll probably be doing for this one right here. There's also a nice amount of loyalty. If you're close to forming any kind of crystal thing for a store, then that's really good, as well as battle chips. And of course, there's other things as well that's within the solo event. The solo event is basically spending gold or winning a fight using a target champion for 50k points, or defeating a target champion for 100,000 points. It's largely down to you how you want to approach it. I personally would recommend, in order to save energy, to go into Arena. I know some people are not a fan of that. There are some alternative options with it, but look, there is a 1.53 energy, as in 1.5 3 energy Deadpool X-Force. Obviously, that will give you 100k points when you defeat it. And even better if you use one of the said champions. It just means that you don't have to like re-access certain things. But then there's the opportunity. This may be better to just use. If you've got any of these champions, then I would personally recommend going to a arena of description, any arena that's on any given time. So I would say that. Oh, that reminds me, I've got to do that before that expires. It was terrible. So much to do in game. Either going to Summoner Trials, either going to any of the arenas, and what you'd be basically doing is kind of getting up to a certain streak, then killing it off, so you get easy fights with them, if for whatever reason your champions aren't as strong. So I'll give you a good example. I could be on could be on ×3 with some of this, but I'd simply need to kind of just go, okay, well, I'll look at this image here and go, right, well, I've filled some of these champions in 2-star versions, 3-star versions, 4-star versions. Just throw them in there. Just throw them in there because it's not class specific. And by doing that, you can get loads of points. So to give you an idea of like how like easy this is, if we divide 1 million by 50,000, that's 20 fights. You'll only need to, you could save your gold, right? Save your gold, go into arena, do 20 fights using some of these champions you see on screen. You've done it. And you've saved your gold for a different occasion. I'm not saying you have to use gold. If you've got a rank up, hey, do it. But if you're looking to kind of go, well, I've not got any gold left, I need gold. Well, save your gold and use something else. But to be honest, a rank up, a level up, probably worth it in any kind of like shape or form. Level up a relic if you haven't done that already. It's a very doable, very easy thing. And I think that's it. That's it. That's been your 5 tips for the month. Hope you enjoyed some of these events. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to like catching up on some stuff and then hopefully getting back to like a full week of doing some cool stuff. But in any case, check out some other content located on screen. I'll see you all soon. Much love and goodbye for now.